Here now with more. South Carolina Senator, you saw him, Lindsey Graham. Senator, for those that didn't get as deep in the weeds as we have, this is profound and deep. And do you agree with me that this is the tip of the iceberg?
Yeah, I hope so. He said he knew there would be a cost standing up to Trump. Everybody who stands up to Trump gets cheered on as a hero. Every accusation against Trump that's bad for him is assumed to be true. The question is there any cost to people trying to destroy President Trump's presidency, his personal life? Is there any cost in this country for lying to a court to push a warrant that you know is really not accurate? So here's the question. Everybody answered my question who signed the warrant application. If you knew then what you know now, would you sign the warrant application? They all said no. Now, why did they say no? Because me and you and a bunch of other people proved it to be just complete BS. It was not a reliable dossier. It was hearsay. It was bar talk. It was made up garbage by people associated with the Clinton campaign. The question for me, and I hope for the country, did you know something and you didn't tell the court and you should have? Did you know when you were signing the warrant application that the FBI had interviewed the man responsible for the information provided to Christopher Steele, the Russian guy, that he said it was all bar talk, not reliable hearsay, and it shouldn't be used in a legal proceeding? I know the FBI knew that because they interviewed the man in January of 2017, and Comey got the warrant twice more and never told the court that we have information now that the man who provided stuff to Steele is recanting. We also know that the Director of National Intelligence told Comey in 2020 that there's evidence that Hillary Clinton's campaign cooked all this up in September.
You mean in 2016?
He denied that ring. Yeah, well, I mean, in 2020, yes. You're right. In 2020, they released information about the warrants. And what happened is that Comey was in a meeting with the President Obama on August the 3rd, 2016, where they talked about the Hillary Clinton plan to go after Trump and link him to Russia. This was
Senator,
briefed
I don't
by,
want to interrupt the Senator, but I want to make sure this is the meeting in which, even at the time, CIA Director Brennan was saying, yeah, they're cooking up this scheme to try and tie Trump to Russia. But they viewed it as a scheme. And didn't Bruce Orr, whose wife Nellie, I believe, worked for Fusion GPS, remember, you had the money funneled through a law firm to an op research firm to hire Christopher Steele. And remember, after Trump was elected, Comey makes this big deal, pulls him aside at Trump Tower and says, by the way, there's this report that you might have been in the Ritz-Carlton in Moscow with hookers urinating on you. It was totally made up garbage. They knew it was political and made up garbage. Bruce Orr warned everybody not to use it. And he was one of them, wasn't he?
Well, yeah, the main thing here, yes, absolutely. But the Director of National Intelligence, before the hearing, basically told Comey, here's a bunch of intel regarding Clinton trying to cook this story up. And he says that he doesn't remember that. Can you imagine the Director of National Intelligence telling you, as the FBI director, there's plenty of evidence out here this thing was cooked up? So, but in August of 2016, 3 months before he signed the warrant application against Carter Page, being part of a conspiracy to, where Trump is an agent of Russia, in August, months before he signed the warrant application, they told him in front of Obama, there's evidence that Clinton is cooking this up. He never told the court that. So before he signed the first warrant application, alleging that Carter Page is part of a conspiracy with Donald Trump to sell out America, he never told the court that he had information that may all be cooked up by Hillary Clinton. When the subsource told the FBI about the dossier is a bunch of bar talk and hearsay, they never told the court. So let me tell you right now, if you're listening to this program, if an FBI director can mislead a court to get a warrant against American citizen to further a political conspiracy to destroy somebody you don't like, we're in a world of hurt. So you'll never convince me that Comey didn't know about the accusation that it was Hillary Clinton making this up, that there was no there. And why didn't he tell the court about this information? Exculpatory information. One lawyer at the FBI went to jail for manipulating evidence to the FISA court. Here's the question for the legal system today. Is there compelling evidence that Comey withheld from the court pertinent information about the warrant application? How can you say he didn't? The FBI knew 3 different times it was all internet rumor and never told the court. Why did they do that? They wanted the investigation to continue during the Trump presidency. I believe this with all my heart, to destroy Donald Trump. If people get away with this, lying to a court, manipulating a court, withholding exculpatory information to a court of law to get a warrant against an American citizen, for political purposes, the rule of law has died. That's the big issue in this case. Not did you leak something to the press. That's important. The question for this country, and I believe this for 5 years, did the FBI director have information he should have given the FISA court that would have stopped this madness? And the answer is yes, he did. And the madness continued. And why did it continue? Because James Comey and a bunch of others wanted to destroy Donald Trump. That, to me, needs to be looked at.
Okay, let's go back to the August meeting that you referred to, where they uncovered
in
that Hillary
2016.
Clinton, in 2016, August to 2016. Let's keep our years straight here. Well, let's go back to that meeting, and they had discovered a plot, a scheme, a political scheme of Hillary to try to tie Donald Trump to Russia. They knew it was bogus. They knew it was BS. My understanding is even Barack Obama was told about this, but wasn't Comey part of that meeting, number one? And number two, when you couple that with the declassified information from Tulsi Gabbard, and remember what we learned in that declassification, we learned that career senior intelligence officials after the 2016 election, their assessment was no Russia collusion. That then was taken to Barack Obama himself, according to Tulsi on this show, and that he ordered a new intelligence assessment to contradict the real intelligence assessment, thus, I would argue, sabotaging Donald Trump as he is beginning to take the office of the presidency. Correct?
Yeah, I think, absolutely correct. But when I questioned him 5 years ago, I didn't believe a word he told me. I don't believe it's possible for the director of the FBI not to know that the subsource who gave the information about the Russian dossier recanted it and it never got up to him. I don't believe it's possible that Comey did not know there was accusations against Clinton cooking this up, because now we know that in August of 2016, 3 months before he applied for the warrant, they had a meeting about whether or not her campaign started this storyline to avoid exposure for the email scandal. So I didn't know that 5 years ago because Tulsi declassified it. But if I'd had then what I have now, I would ask him, let me refresh your memory. Do you remember being in a meeting with the president, the CIA director, in August of 2016 in the White House with President Obama, talking about the Clinton cooking this up, that their campaign may have started this for political reasons? It's on the books.
Amazing.
I didn't know that then. This stinks to high heaven.
I said to you, we didn't play the part where I said, I don't think he's telling, I think he lied. I said that back that night when you were on. We're way ahead of the curve. This is about justice, though. This is about what we call or describe as a deep state. Senator, thank you. When we come back.